So to all the married women, when was the last time you told your husband you loved him just because? When was the last time you hugged your husband? When was the last time you made love to your husband? When was the last time you cursed your husband out? In marriage, we find ourselves being busy with raising the children, going back to school to better our education. Maybe we're entrepreneurs, we're busy with that, or we're busy with our careers. And when we do that, we find ourselves going this way, the opposite way, instead of together in a marriage. And you're busy with all these different things, and being busy sometimes causes frustration. And with frustration, it causes us to lash out and take it out on who? Our spouse. So you find yourself fussing about the smallest things, such as maybe an example, his shoes in the middle of the floor, or him not taking the trash out to the front on trash night or trash day, or him leaving the toilet seat up, or him putting his dirty clothes by the hamper instead of in the hamper. And so about time the weekend comes, you two have chewed each other's heads off. And when you sit down and think about it, it was for something as small as his shoes in the middle of the floor. Something trivia. I wish that I could come home and see my husband's shoes in the middle of the floor. I wish that I could see my husband's dirty clothes by the hamper instead of in the hamper, or the toilet seat being up. But I will never, ever be able to see my husband again, because on October 17th, 2003, my husband was killed in a car accident. And I too nitpicked and nagged about the small things, the juvenile things, the trivia things. I too took for granted that he would be here forever. The vows say until death do us part. I knew me and my husband would grow old together. We would be together forever. I never in a million years thought I would be a widow at the age of 24. And so when in marriage, you find yourself fussing and you're nagging and you just over nonsense. There's some things you have to address. Definitely. And there's some things you just could just let it go. Let it slide. And when you don't let it slide and you continually fuss over and over about nonsense, then it's like nothing goes right. And before you know it, you two are sleeping in separate bedrooms. You got to be kidding me. Like, who came up with that idea of separate bedrooms? Who came up with that foolishness? The only way separate bedrooms should be allowed is if two people are getting ready to divorce and they're living in the same home and they decide, well, we're going to divorce, but we're going to be together in the same home and we're not going to sleep in the same room. But if you were like, I'm going to be with my husband, my wife till the end, I'm going to ride this out till death do us part, it's unacceptable to be in separate rooms. And God forbid you want to be in these separate rooms and you find yourself waking up the next morning, you go around to the room and he's dead. Now what? Are you going to remember why he was even in the separate rooms? Are you going to remember what the fuss was about, what the argument was about? No. When the coroner came to my door October 17, 2003 and delivered that horrific news to me, I didn't remember anything that my husband did that was trivia, that was juvenile. All I could think about is I'm never going to see my husband again. Oh my goodness, I'm never going to be able to touch him, talk to him again. So you are married right now, and you have a husband, and you are blessed, and we tend to take life for granted. We tend to think they're gonna always be there. If they do something nice for us, we fussing and nagging. Like, for example, your husband might decide, I'm gonna fix my baby a plate, and accidentally put some tomatoes on your plate, and you don't like tomatoes, and he knows this, but it was a simple accident, and it's the saying, babe, thank you so much for fixing my plate. You fussing about the tomatoes. As soon as you see that plate, you see the tomatoes, you go crazy. I don't like tomatoes. You don't do nothing right. Fussing over some tomatoes on a plate. Really? You know how many women wish that they had a man to bring them a plate of food? You know how many women wish they were married? There's so many women that have husbands who go to work, take care of the house, take care of wives, and their wives are nagging and fussing about trivia things. That's unacceptable. Your husband come home from work, instead of saying, "Hey babe, how you doing? You need a back rub. What you want to eat?" Or fixing his food. You made him something already. You know, you talking to him. "How was your day? How you doing?" You fussing and nagging about, "Oh, why you ain't bring the trash in? You just gonna pull up and leave the trash out there? Why you gonna put your boots in the middle of the floor? You know we just got the carpet clean." Really? He came home from work, came home to you, and instead of you saying, "Hey babe," being happy to see him, you fussing about why he left his boots in the middle of the floor because the carpet just got clean or whatever. Really? Life is short. Life is short. You need to pick your battles. Some things aren't even worth discussing. Some things are not even worth fussing about. And I tell you what, I'm going to get a second chance at this marriage. And I promise you, the second go round, he could leave his shoes in the middle of the floor. He could leave the toilet seats up in every bathroom. He can leave the trash out in the front. I am not wasting my time and energy fussing over no juvenile trivia things such as that. Life is too short. If you are blessed to have a husband that takes care of home, you do not need to be nagging unless he has done something disrespectful to you, the home, or the children. If not, keep it shut. It's not that serious. Maybe if you take that extra time that you're nagging to better yourself, to do something for yourself, to do something for him, do something for the kids, you won't have time to notice and stress the juvenile things. Don't take life for granted. Don't take it. He could be here today and gone tomorrow. Just that quick. Death does not discriminate. And so I'm sharing this video with you all to let you know that today is the 10th anniversary of my husband being gone. And hey, one thing I will say is I was blessed to have an awesome husband. At the end of the day, there was things I nagged about, but when I buried my husband, I don't even remember those things that I fussed and nagged about. But what I do remember is that he was an awesome husband and an awesome father. And so I wanted to share this video with you all. For all the married women, appreciate your husband. If your plan is to be with your husband until death do you part, change your ways. Leave the nagging out of it. Life is too short. Love your husband. Compliment your husband. Make love to your husband. Appreciate your husband. Because he could be gone. You don't want the corner to come to your door and tell you that your husband was killed or your husband died or your husband is gone forever. You don't want that news ever delivered to you. Appreciate them while they're here, because once they're gone, there's no coming back.